A very, very warm good evening. It's Sunday. It is December the 28th, 2025, fourth last day of the year. And we continue to talk about Indian football and the happenings in Indian football because, yes, things are moving. Are they moving in the right direction? Are they not moving in the right direction? And again, worth the conversation. See, let me put the light in a better frame. Yes, sorry. Mm, and to me, it's very, very important that we continue to have these conversations. And let's see where we stand. And as always, at the start of a live, maybe those of you who are watching live, hopefully will do that. And those of you who might be watching afterwards, like, share, and subscribe arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social media, visit arunfoot.com and watch my short videos. I did something today on my take on why did City Football Group leave Mumbai City, the ISL, and Indian football. Sort of a little bit of a background story on that. And I said like, share, and subscribe. Hype my videos. We stand at 3,607 at the moment subscribers. I know I said earlier this month, or I said on the first, I think, let's try and reach the 4,000 mark. Looks a little tough, but still, thank you for the more than 100 people who've joined already in the month of December. I'm sorry. Let me go through your questions or observations. Armin says just watched BCCI documentary on how they became ICC leaders and they're acting like goons, and not to forget the same mafia is also one reason why Indian sports is not growing. Australian cricket has suffered loss around 150 crores and they're planning for big bash privatization. Your thoughts? I don't know enough about cricket to be able to talk about cricket, to be very honest to you. Again, to me, the problems of cricket are not not our problems. Let's call it that way, right? We have our own problems in football, which we should need to look at, and to me, and so therefore for me, let's see. Hi Ashish, आप कैसे हो? मैं ठीक हूँ. How are you? Ahmed says, I'm glad clubs are not rushing to agree to a rushed league by AIFF without broadcast investor. It's useless proposal. I mean, that's the thing. I think that's a very important point that I think one can raise with the clubs and say, ask, guys, are you aware of the situation of where you stand, of where this whole proposal stands at the moment? To me, I think it is very, very clear that the clubs have understood that this proposal, as it is out there in the public domain, in my opinion, doesn't work, right? It does not work. Sorry. It doesn't work because I've said this yesterday and the day before also, that to me, the problem is very, very simple. Who's going to pay for it? Before I think about broadcast and this and that, anything, I need to go back to the basics. Who's paying for the league? There is something like 70 crores written in there, right? 70 crores as, needing as an operational budget for the league, which is down from the 100 plus that Reliance had, with this and that and everything. Most probably we're talking about 150 crores. Now, instead of getting money out of the central pool, you are asking the clubs to spend money. The AFF is supposed to invest money. Does the AFF have the money to invest? Would be a simple question of mine. Does the AFF at this moment in time have the money to invest into such a league? So for me, the question is not about specifics. There are basic questions which have not been answered in all these discussions or in this proposal and other things that we've seen so far. My simple question at the moment is, if I see this proposal, one, governance, in my opinion, very vague. Jurisdiction, they have some jurisdiction, but actually, you know what? The AFF and the EXCO have the jurisdiction on this because they are also the owner. Funding, who's paying for the 70 crores? Who's your so-called investor or commercial partner? And Arman, you also mentioned it. Who's going to be your broadcaster? So all these questions, in my opinion, are unanswered. And as long as we don't have an answer to any of these questions or queries, it's going to be very difficult to try and realize it's like, can this league happen or not, right? So um, so therefore, for me, um, at the moment, if you ask me, looking at this scenario, looking at these realities of things, this proposal looks very tough. And I have said to people, if they like it or not, to find the right answer and the right solution, you need to think about not playing the 2025-26 season, right? Uh, so therefore, you know, uh, I don't know. I really, it is something which is very, very difficult. And again, Aman, to me, um, I've said this to people. It is in under these circumstances, it is better not to play than to play, if you like it or not. But then you need to find a solution for the whole ecosystem. Next meeting, Raj, they'll be meeting on and off online every day now to try and find a solution. Time is running, right? And the funny one is, my question to the AIFF would be, guys, you've not done your homework, right? Why have you not communicated with the AFC? I know from the AFC, you know, it is, I don't know. The Bengali football content creators doing a soft PR of AIFF and spreading false hopes to Bangla audience. They declared ISL starting date, and Ismail fans seem to be very happy. Raj, let them be in their Lala land, right? There is no starting date or whatsoever. Remember a few days ago, was it a couple of weeks ago, people were talking about the 26th of Jan being a kickoff date. Every day that we lose pushes the whole thing back. We're in end of December. Even if before the end of the year things are sorted, middle of Feb would be a realistic time to say, hey, the league is starting, right? If we are able to do the things that are needed. If not, the timelines move further and further backwards. Very simple. And realities of things. It boils my blood, except you and few others. Nobody in media, be it print or digital media, covered this ISL and I-League jeopardy. Sports doesn't have any future in this country. Hala Madrid, G9L or G9I, G9L or G9I, G9I, right? I have said to all of these things what I trust and believe is right or wrong. I can stick to my words, and I can stick to my analysis of things, which again others need to question themselves if they can or not. And I said to people, I've read something in the German media, that there is the Sport 1 is a German terrestrial sports broadcaster, our biggest sports broadcaster per se. They had an article a couple of days back on the City Football Group departure from Indian football. And that article was better written, than any of the articles that I've seen in India. So therefore, it's sad, but this is the reality, right? This is Indian football, India in the year 2000 and late 2025, that we live in this so-called la la land, that we think that this and that and everything is fine, and there aren't actually any big problems, and we have massive problems, right? We have massive problems at the moment, and we're not willing to understand that and move out of it. And the biggest problem I see at this moment in time, for us to move in the right direction, for the things to happen in the right way, is if people actually have a understanding of what is needed for the mid to the long term. Trying to save the current 25-26 season, you are jeopardizing the future of Indian football. This is what I've said to people. If the clubs agree to this current model, thank you very much. We're stuck with this for a few years. For them, only derby matters. Raj, that's the problem. I mean, sorry, fans in Kolkata, wake up to realities. It is about Indian football. It's not about East Bengal, Mohun Bagan. It's not about Bengal football. If you all are Bengal football fans, then go and watch the Bengal Super League. At least support that. I would rather trust Salman Khan as my driver over AIFF as a top body to host anything. Okay. Don't know what Salman Khan did. Hi, Nixon. Welcome back. Hello. The current situation reminds me of the NFL days when fixtures and venues used to be changed quite regularly. Uchut, even worse than that, right? Um, you know, you know. So therefore, you know, it is worse than that because at the moment we're discussing something which is supposed to happen in those days. Again, we in those days things were not as organized, as structured. We are coming out of the world where for 11 years things were sorted before the season. The ISL was normally sorted, dusted, done before the season started. Forget the I League. The I League has still been the same problem that the I League and the NFL have been since 1996, right? Even last season, we saw a lot of changes. So therefore, for me, that comparison is very, very nice that we're back in those days where we talk, oh, centralized venues, let's try to do this, let's try and do that. Oh, let's factor this in, let's factor that in. It doesn't work that way. Hope they make permanent and proper system. They're talking about a potential customer providing 30%. Do they have a commercial partner who can do that? AIFF should not build its castles in there. Nixon, commercial partner? No, there isn't. I mean, if there was, or if there were, you look at Reliance walking away. You look there in the tender. Nobody was interested, right? So that's the problem. The ISL club CEOs will say we'll do on that, but when it comes to doing meeting, they aren't doing anything. No, Raj, I wouldn't say that. I understand the problem of the club CEOs. What's the pressure on the club CEOs? The club CEO's problem is you have your owner. You have all the people who work under you. On the other side, you got the AIFF. So some owners are saying cut costs. You have liabilities, so to say, which is your staff. And you've got an AIFF who live in their own world. Right? How do you bring this together? I think the CFG exit shows very, very clearly, uh, that where we stand and that understanding is not there. What is the damage of it? According to Boria, no football league this season would be embarrassing for India, even given the fact we're hosting Congress want to host the Olympics. Ocho, this wanting to host the Olympics, let's get out of that, right? After what happened with Lionel Messi, what has been happening in Indian football, what is happening in other sporting associations, India. I wish India could be, but I actually, in its own interest, India should not be bidding for 2036. Let me be very honest and very frank to you guys. We are at the moment again, and what Boria and all these guys don't seem to understand. Again, this is basic understanding. We're already the laughing stock of the sports world. We don't have, listen, with all the success you talk about cricket, this, that, everything, nobody cares about our sports. We are not, we are not doing what is needed. Right. So therefore, we are in a very, 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 very bad space, and we need to get out of it. But what are we doing to get out of it? We're doing nothing. We are not doing. So therefore, we are stuck in that. And then again, Boria, ask the right people for interviews and questions, and they will tell you what is right and what is wrong. Only clubs can save themselves. No, Raj. That is not the case. If the clubs have to save themselves, they would agree to anything that AIFF says to them and says, okay, we're still alive. Again, I go back to the CFG exit. CFG is exiting because there is no sustainable model in Indian club football. ISL, I League 2, I League 3, local leagues, Super League Kerala, Bengal Super League. There is no model where in India, if you're spending 1 rupee, I can earn my 1 rupee back. Not even that. I can earn my 1 rupee back and make a profit on that 1 rupee. That is the problem we should be discussing. That is the problem that we should be looking at. That we are losing money in the Indian football ecosystem, left, right, and center. How do we make the system financially sustainable? Nobody outside India will look at this. Even if a sports management agency was looking at this for 5 seconds after CFG, you know, let's keep it that way. Even if you have one now, that's the what's the guarantee that they will remain even given AFF top quality management, quality of Indian football being played. Nixon, forget the quality being played. That is a different league, differentiate league and national team now. I was having this discussion with someone today. If you had enough crores in your bank or in your company, would you invest even 1 rupee in Indian football at the moment? And I said, if I was a rich billionaire or millionaire, whatever, I would either invest in cricket or I invest in football in Europe or other parts of the world. I would not invest in Indian sports, or again, outside of cricket. This is what we need to understand. Hi, Utkarsh, welcome back. Worst part is one sports journalists covering CFG departure, especially for Visu, but no Indian media cover about this fiasco. Why the hell there is no debate around this fiasco matter? Because Arman, it's a disgrace and nobody wants to raise the voice, right? And Raj adds to it. A foreign YouTuber raises question for ourselves, but our people just don't care about it. Raj, and the funny one is, again, yes, some of the players have done it on their socials, but we see mainly the foreigners who've raised the voice on the matter, right? Hindi media, Delhi media don't even know what CFG is. Neither they know how football league works. They think everything is IPL like. Yeah, Akash, very right. Our national media is joke. These people will not cover the situation, but when next year World Cup starts, these people ask government why India isn't playing in World Cup. Yeah, Raj, that's yeah, very right. A few days ago on a news channel, most probably the first post people were comment that what is transfer window. Yeah, that's the reality. Whether you want it or not, India will host Commonwealth Games and other sports events. Brackets maybe the reasons are varied. Football in India is a different story. Uchud, I agree, but again, this whole football fiasco is not helping India's global standing in sports, right? So that has to be understood that this whole embarrassment of what's happening in Indian football is being seen, is being observed, and is a big issue for India outside of India, because people are looking at it and thinking, okay, what is happening? Why is it happening? Right. And again, as I say always again and again, it is not just football, it is in other sports as well. Actually, with all the problems we have, there is somewhat of money in the system. In other sports, they don't even have close to the monies that we have in football. So therefore, India is a very, very complex beast in this, and we'll have to see what really happens to it. AFF has only 19 crores plus, not to forget, no investor will come unless they change that clause. AFF will operate the league. Yeah, Gina and I, again, do they have 19 crores or do they even have less? That's a question that can be asked. And the other points are very simple. It's where do we stand overall? At the moment, where does Indian football stand? Can we get around? Can we keep things working in our interest? And um, for the clubs, my question again and again to them is: can you trust um, the FF in running the league? That is my thing. And if you're creating something, both sides together, again, who's putting in the 70 crores? If I'm a staff of that project and I would be part of that special body, I would ask for my salary in advance for the next at least 3 to 5 months. What about standards? If let's set a certain standard, look at Arable, there lies the answer. Raj, you are coming with a question which is totally unnecessary. Don't talk about standards. This is a league which is being jumbled up for the sake of having a league. The ISL clubs themselves, who sometimes said to the ISL, oh, this thing, that thing is too much, or this or that thing could be better. They are now going to go, if need be, below I League level, because there's no, That's the problem. There is no, if you want to set standards, there's not going to be a standard of broadcasting, match day, anything. It'll go. Even in cricket, as per my own research, except IPL, all other cricket leagues are loss making. Akash, I don't know enough. If you know this and if it's right, okay. But again, I don't know enough about cricket to know that. Is this news league Super Cup Part Two, Augusto? Very, very well said, in my opinion. And you see the laugh and smile in my face. I feel it could be. It is. There is this danger that this could turn out to be an a Super Cup 2.0, and then the embarrassment waiting to happen is just too big, right? To me, to you, to all of us, this is not going to work, right? And I think the clubs. I realize, I understand that there are certain clubs where the level of desperation is very, very high because the owners, I think, are saying, hey, listen, if nothing happens, I'll shut it down. Or some owners are cribbing, which I would as well if I was the owner and losing, X number of crores every year for a long period of time. Um, yeah. So the question is, dead man walking or not? It's very difficult. Hey, Rishabh, good to see you. I'm good. I've been eating too much over the Christmas break, but yeah, had a long walk today in the sunshine. It's quite cold here in Germany at the moment, but yes, belated Christmas. Greetings to everyone who celebrated. Indian establishment doesn't care about football. They simply don't care. Any sane government with right persons would think that India must do well in world football. It's simply bad PR. Gosh, yeah, they don't care. They're 100% right. And it starts at the top, right? We've seen prime ministers and presidents of different countries doing football stuff with the prime minister, with the foreign affairs minister. There's no interest. That is the sad reality. Are the efforts running before MGR agreement? Rushabh, they had earlier before that, from 2005 onwards, an agreement with Z, which was pumping in money. But, um, you had Albert Colasso from 2000 onwards, you know, and 2010, Kushal Das came in. And in October, if I'm right, he came in October. And after that, IMGR came in. And yeah, but again, the costs, the runnings of things was much, much lower. Government support was there. Again, in the days of Prerna Dasmunshi or Praful Patel, whenever they had a problem financially, they would either go to a PSU or to a friendly corporate or to the government, and they would get the money, right? I have sat in Priyosdas' office in Shastri Bhavan where Priyoda called up people and then organized a few crores. Again, unthinkable today, but that is how they were able. That is the influence of such kind of people. And this is, yeah, sorry, that's where we face our problems with the current AFF. I heard everyone in the world starts with India, a country with 1.4 billion people is in football. Akash, yeah, but again, you will see a lot of these memes or stats which will show, oh, you know what, these are the countries, the biggest countries in the world who have not played football or whatever. Yeah, it's something which is there, and but you know what to do. It's a reality. I think they should be talking about IS, etc. They should start meeting for elections in AFF. Nixon, yeah, but again, you've now had your chance within the AFF, right? I've heard for the last 12, 14 months that, you know what, an uprising within the AFF, either state associations or the exco's coming. I said, okay, take it. Let it happen. We'll wait and see. Where is it? It didn't happen, right? It just did not happen. And to me, that is the biggest problem in all of this, that we talk about things, we hope that things will happen, but the people who have to take a call don't do it, right? Remember before the AGM, how many people were saying, oh, you know what, there will be no confidence motion? Nothing. They just flagged all through. And I knew, and that's why I tweeted a few days earlier that the house is on fire. AFF as a house is on fire. But you know what? They're letting it burn down to the foundations. Nobody is standing up. I know three or four people who have said, yeah, yeah, I would, but nobody else is doing it. That's why I'm not going to do it. We are suffering from a lack of leadership within the AFF, be it president, be it deputy secretary general, be it others in that body. Why are critical questions not being asked? So that's the thing. And now please take some Indian kids to German camp. At least they will learn proper football in German. Indian grassroots teacher can't even teach proper basics football. I can do that, but again, I'm not a rich person to say, listen, I'm funding you, come here, we'll do it. Again, if someone's funding it, wanting to set kings over here, can be done tomorrow, right? But again, I've done my things, whatever I've done in my life for Indian football. I will continue to do certain things, but these kind of things are even in the past ones funded certain kids to come over here. I'm not that rich that I can do it. Sorry to say that, right? So that's the thing. Hey Shumit, I'm doing good. How are you? Welcome back to the channel. My brother-in-law, sister lives in Sydney, Australia. Rugby and soccer are the main sports there. The government invests a lot of grassroots community sports as well, funded by public too. Yeah, I mean, you know, you got you forget that there's a sport called Aussie rules football. Uh, you know, to me, that's the question. Australia to me is a sporting country. Unlike India, Australia or a South Africa to me are two sporting countries, right? They are cricket playing nations, but to me, they're overall sporting countries because you mentioned rugby, we can mention soccer, athletics, swimming, other Olympic sports, field hockey, tennis, this, that, everything. There are a lot of sports where you can mention these countries. So therefore, yeah, that's something which is there. A for is any other method I've hard time with Google Play to pay. Nixon, I would have to figure out. What I'm gonna do anyway, I wanted to create something. I've got a few members already, thanks to those of you who have taken on a membership that we want to a WhatsApp group so we can exchange information about Indian football and pass on what is happening or not. But again, I'll have to figure out a way to do that. So, Nixon, if you can reach out to me either via Twitter, via Instagram, maybe there is another way to activate that. Akash says, horrible sports ministry. They have no aspirations to do good and the most popular and the real international sport. No, they don't. The government has, to me, not shown any intentions of growing football or the matter with sports. We're talking about Olympics, this and that. And again, from an organizational standpoint, India can host big ticketed events, but again, we are not doing what is needed in grassroots level sports across. Right? It's not just a football problem. I think every sport. So that's the thing. How to salvage the season? Short round robin league, centralized venue, COVID type league. Ogni, to me, that's not the question. Again, and this is the problem of people who don't recognize that I want to salvage Indian club football. If I have to sacrifice the current season to get a proper system in place, we should sacrifice the current season. You know, to me, salvaging the season is not the answer. If you salvage the season, we are back. I don't even know if next year or the year after, we'll be back to the same conversations. Salvaging this season for now to salvaging something of the sort is not the answer that we need for Indian football. We are going to be back to square one. We are there. You know, this is the problem. If we want change, either it is within the AIFF, right leadership, right decisions, changes to the constitution, commercial partner coming back. But if you commit as clubs to this current proposal, how are you going to get out of that proposal would be very interesting to see. Because you're committing supposedly for 20 years. We're supposedly committing to a 20-year model, but I don't even know if this model can survive a season, right? To me, this model looks like a short gap solution and say, yeah, listen, let's see what we can do. They only go off this dream to complete its tenure. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I just hate how this Messi tour turned into Chetri sympathy. So many creators made videos on Indian football situation, but them didn't even cover it properly. Rushabh, that's one. But this Chetri sympathy is something which I also spoke about. I found it disrespectful the way that um, his own club boss, Pat Jindal, placed himself there. If I look at other celebrities, politicians, Bollywood stars, and I don't know what, and Sunil being Sunil, you know, and what I've heard from Argentina is the only person that people knew out there at that ground was Sunil Chetri. Lionel Messi didn't know anybody else over there, right? Welcome to Indian football. Why can't we ask right questions to right people? Rishabh, welcome to India. That is the problem, you know? So that's the problem. They don't want to be accountable. Accountability in an Indian context is a non-starter of a topic. We don't have no accountability. When I went there and I spoke to some people and realized like you're not even willing to introspect. You are not willing to discuss, understand what the issues and problems are, right? So that's it. AIFF is only 19 crores plus, not to forget, no investor will come unless they change that clause. AIFF will operate the league. Gina and yeah, do they, again, I go back, do they have the 19 crores? Would be my first question. And my second, even if the clause is removed, given what has all happened in the last few months, how many corporate groups will want to come forward as commercial partners, knowing you will lose what? 200 crores minimum the next 5 years? Most probably much, much more. That is a problem. We are nowhere where we need to be. It's that too incomprehensible for this. Yes, it is, Rushabh. We here on this channel have more better conversations on Indian football than you will ever hear in and around the AIFF. A lot of you guys have been or are knowledgeable of, have learned certain things here with us of what the realities of football are. If this group of people who regularly comes to my Indian football discussions here on Arunfoot, we would sit there. There will be the one of the unrealistic idea, surely, but I think we could chalk out something which will not happen at Football House. Because they all live in their own little bubbles. The AIFF live in the big bubble. Our friends in the IFA and the Kolkata clubs and their fans live in their own little bubble. Goa, own bubble. It's not even a bubble of itself. GFA is an own bubble. Churchill Brothers is an own bubble. FC Goa is an own bubble. Tempo, Sagaka, whatever. Kerala, multiple bubbles as well. Why am I talking about a bubble? Multiple bubbles as well. I don't even know where the Kerala FA president stands on things. So how do you bring that all together to understand? It's like, hey guys, we need a national plan, a national idea for the top tier. Very simple. But how do you get there? Hey, Shaggy, good day to you as well. Seeing all the saga from the past year, the only resolution is for AIFF to go back to Superman for a commercial leeway. No commercial entity will invest in long term without ownership. Shaggy, they don't need to go back. Clause 23.3 has been removed. The AIFF itself can make changes to its constitution. They don't need to go back to the Supreme Court. That is one of the interesting parts which I've not understood. Why are you going to the Supreme Court and saying, hey, guys, we need to want to change? Right? And I don't know. It's a very bizarre situation, in my opinion. And as has been said by others earlier today, they don't want to change things also. That's also a fact. If we like it or not, they are happy to be where they are. So that's the mess that Indian football finds itself in at the moment. Right, nearly 38 minutes of this live. Quick reminder, like, share, and subscribe, guys. As always, thank you for your support. Again, without your support, I wouldn't be able to grow this community. And again, I try and keep my sanity and my sanity also through you guys with all these discussions and conversations we have. Otherwise, sometimes it becomes a little crazy. 8 likes so far. I think we can do better. And again, thank you for your support. Like, share, and subscribe. We're slowly growing. This community needs to grow here on YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram or don't, we're growing on Instagram as well. Here we are at 3,608 subscribers. Thank you very much. 3,350 on Insta. Thanks a lot. And yeah, let's keep on growing. Gina and I, as answered Akash says, we're actually pathetic, almost non-existent in every sport outside of cricket. Our basketball, volleyball teams couldn't even qualify for continental cups like AFC Asian Cup for footy. Basketball we've done in the recent past, so that's not fully right. Volleyball also has in the past, but again, we don't care. Again, we are outside of hockey. We don't have any other team sport where we're actually succeeding. Only good thing about regime is Sweden FAMU, we got that Joachim coach as women. Outside of that, other MOUs like CAFA and Saudis were useless. Proper national team ecosystem is dead. Aman, the Sweden FOU MOU was actually done by the earlier regime because Thomas Dennerby, so to say, set the whole thing up. So I don't know if it's really their credit or if they were there, so therefore, yeah, I don't know if that is there to their credit. Without FSDL, no league will happen, says Rakesh. AIFF won't operate any league. Rakesh, they want to operate a league. And I will go as far as to say that the AIFF will try and run a league without ISL teams, those who don't want to play, and rather jumble up a top tier league with ISL and I League teams and create something of the thoughts. So for me, that is a danger which I see. So therefore, for me, it's very important that the ISL clubs actually stick together, stay together, and speak with one voice. Because I know even at East Bengal, I think they're not very clear. Nituda is pressed forward. I don't think the other awards are very happy that Nituda is supporting the AIFF, right? Argentina is number 1 in football. Their hockey team now ranks higher in FIH Pro League. The national rugby team featured in semifinals in 2019-23 Rugby World Cup. Only India is failing in sports. Yeah. Gina and I, yeah, reality, right? I don't know why I League, not East Bengal against FSA. Everyone knows without FSA, no one will sponsor English football. Rakesh, I guess the Anwar Ali thing is there, so let's wait and see what happens. As a Mumbai City FC fan, I'm scared club could soon die. Why I fear Runway 2 will close the team. I don't think the team will shut because knowing Bimal Parekh, knowing where the club stands at this moment, I don't see Mumbai City shutting down. I think they will, even if it needs be, they will maybe cut operations and run youth and maybe even a reserve team set up within the Mumbai District Football Association setup. I don't see Mumbai City shutting shop fully. I mean, again, wishful thinking as well, because I'm involved in forming the club. But to me, that is something which I can say. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. I think ISO will happen, but let's see how ISO will happen. X9P, I don't know. I again, if my concern is that if something of the sorts happens for the sake of happening, it is going to happen. It's going to harm us, you know. So therefore, I don't know if ISL will happen. And I've said, I think at the moment, as things are moving ahead, my advice to the clubs would be don't play. Let the season die out. Force with everybody else the AIFF to hold elections and let a new committee take over and take a call on things. I think that's the best thing that can happen to Indian football. I think the AIFF needs an election, and if need be, let this happen. You know, you know. So yeah, it is very difficult. Job in his regime is a joke for sure, but for reset, I will take this 20-year plan as it's 1 crore only for central board, 30% corporate hold, 50% club hold. This makes all clubs to participate. Wesoff, who's going to pay for the rest of the money? Simple question. Let's say 14 clubs pay. Okay, I've got 14 crores out of 70, right? That means you've got 20% of the money. Who's going to pay for the rest of the 80%? Who's going to pay for the 56? Right? Then please tell someone to sue that scooter guy so much. That guy spread out there and team his concrete was so cringe, by the way. Yeah, Rishabh. Yeah, it's what to say. Your thoughts on Nations League? Rishabh, again, did a video on it. Short, crisp one. Where I think I felt, I not felt, I feel it's a good thing that the AFC has come around to think about the Nations League. But where will we play? If it's a 3-tier system, we might play in the second tier. If it's a 4-tier system, we will mostly end up in the third tier. Yeah, so therefore, and very difficult to say. I feel AFF is having cold feet of not making a decision on commercial interest. I believe the factions within AFF are harming Indian football more. East Bengal supporting was a funny thing. The factions within AFF has no impact. It is a decision in regard to what the president and I think the deputy general secretary are thinking. The rest, I think, are non-starters in the AFF. How you're having discussions in the AFF. Factions are normally good because then it forces you to discuss, to negotiate, to find solutions. I'm not seeing that in the AFF, right? So, so is and to me, that's the whole point, right? And yeah, we're doing good in many sports, but these sports also need audience. Rugby doing good, basketball we're doing good. We beat some good teams, but they need support from government and fans, etc. X9P, yeah, but who's going to do that? Again, rugby held a very successful, league. They called it league. I would have called it tournament in the summer. Have most probably the best president in Indian sports in Rahul Bose. But again, is that general interest there in the public in a sport like rugby? I don't think so. Right? That's the rugby problem. कमर्शियल पार्टनर तो तब आएगा जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का वो क्लॉज चेंज होएगा कि प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टर विल ऑपरेट द लीग इन्वेस्टर्स हैव नो इश्यूज विद ओनिंग बट ऑपरेटिंग मेन इशू है भाई आई थिंक इवन ओनिंग इज एन इशू बिकॉज इफ यू आर ओनर if the AFF is your owner of the league, they have influence on things, on decision making, and that is something which again operate and owning I think is both what they would like to change. Without FSTL, will the production be same? No. How it will again look at the IWL at the moment. Look at what the Super Cup media at least was produced by FSTL in regard to that they ensured it was there. So therefore, at least what was coming out of the Nehru Stadium, we had Pulosto, we had Suyash there, good. But everything else to me looked like a problem. Being a Odisha FC supporter, it feels funny looking at MCFC fans. At least your club is alive. Aditya, I understand your point, but for some, again, I had known for a while that this is going to happen, but couldn't say anything about it publicly. but it was logical to me that this could would happen, and that's why I did a video today, because to me I think that just to say, hey, listen, this is on the AFF and everything. Yes, it is on the AFF, but it is also on the whole system, because to me the problem is that City Football Group would have looked at the ISL and India football and said, where can we break even? Where can we generate money in the future? That option wasn't there, right? So therefore, it's an option out. Is Odisha FC dead? No, they're not. And Aditya says it's not dead, but it's not alive either. Yeah, it's there on paper at the moment. Odisha FC is not active. Do you think practically if we face San Marino or Aditya, I don't even know who we face at the moment. It doesn't matter. Is Interkashi will stay as UPN? I don't want Interkashi getting shut down. If it happen, it will hurt. Each P, from what I know, Interkashi will surely stay with their youth teams. Will they be part of something? I don't know at the moment. Why Imam is letting speak, Nitu? I hate every single person from club management, be Ismail or even Morgan Sporting. Akash, I don't know. I think from my understanding is that letter sent to the AIFF was even sent without the knowledge of Imami. So welcome to their realities. Also, I think India will be mostly in Group C or Group D. Nowhere will we be in Group B. Also, Asia is so big, it's gonna be again Eastern and Western region. Aditya, in national teams, they don't have Eastern Western region, right? It's only in club football where they have Eastern Western region. So to me, and I don't think we're going to be D at the moment where we stand, where we are depending on uh, uh, um, depending on if you're doing 16, 16, 15, then we will be in Group B. If you're dividing it 12 or 12, 11, then we will be in Group C. But again, I've done a video on it, guys. Watch it. Self-explanatory. ISL will happen only if everyone will ask us to come as commercial partner. I don't think so. I don't see, again, you have enough resignations within FSDL also in the last few weeks. People who stuck around and now who've also left. So I don't know. Rahul Bose can be the goat of sports management, and Kalyan is already the. Yeah, Akash, very sad. Karma is alive, and it's the proof of East Bengal for all their shady things. And he's played all in their team. The men's team lost all competitions. Okay, again, we start with that. Rahul Bose resigned after he's getting an using fake domicile in Himachal Pradesh. Resigned from what? He's still the rugby president, no? Not? No. Isn't he? 1 second. Or did I miss something? Yes, no, 1 second. Let me just see if he still is before I say something wrong, guys. 1 second. Film, television, sports. Uh, where is it? Let me check Rugby India. Right, sorry, just 1 second. I want to be right. Rahul Bose is still president, so he's not been removed. I think Rahul Bose is the most sustainable club. The youth pipeline is generational money. No, it's not. Gosh, and this one I know. Sunny is spending way too much of being sustainable. It's way, way of sustainability. See, and this is again, guys, you think you know. Guys, don't assume. Son, origin from who's from Haryana? Sorry, I don't get that. Kalyan Chaube breaks ego again. They talk to the AFS to sponsor. I don't think so. Punjab Youth beats okay, and the Youth League. Born is beautiful. Yes, Orithro. Born is very beautiful. Would Nations League in the long run put teams in a realistic way into the respective leagues based on their strength? Has this happened with Nations League? Yeah. Yeah, Rushabh, it has. And has helped, in my opinion. But from an Asian perspective, it will be very interesting to see, because we don't. You know. So let's see. I mean, in ACL, we have East and West because it makes whole Asia competes. So once Nation League makes whole Asia competes, it's bound to be East and West. No, it's not. Again, what, Aditya, what did I tell you? This is club and this is country. Also, guys, if you have a point, prove it. If you don't, please listen. Do we have East West and national teams in the AFC Asian Cup and the World Cup qualifiers? Or we don't? Why would FSL want to come back in the first place? Rather, they'd be laughing at this. Yeah, Nixon, they are. They are and they should be. They are happy that they're out of this, right? And they've said, I've told people that they will be out and nobody believed it. I say this, I've said this in the past. This is something that a lot of people didn't want to believe. Said, no, 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 Reliance is there. Reliance will be there. Reliance will not go. Reliance is, for the moment, is very, very far away from Indian football. And that's the brutal reality of things. And, you know, so yeah, very, very difficult at the moment, given the realities. I did a research on Ramdas Punjab. The owner is a multi-billionaire person, is right? Yeah, he is Akash, but again, he's pumped in too much money to make any money out of it at the moment, right? Is Sunny is rich, so, and as you say yourself, he's doing charity. So again, you guys can do a lot of research, but if you don't know, this is something again which I always say: either you know or you don't. Some things you can find out with research. But do you know the actual number that Sunny has spent on Round Glass Punjab already? Right? Indian football finished. Mumbai City is almost dead. Real Madrid has been awful, man. I'm feeling everything. So it is going down. G9I, that's football. Sometimes you'll have a good season, sometimes you'll have a bad one. Rounders after selling Abhishek to Moman, record breaking price, and the league is not happening. Yeah, but still, Aditya, guys, the guy spent his money and he spent more money. Even this season, they've actually signed foreigners. They're spending money. As of now, most populous country does not have a top tier until AIFF continues its stance of wanting to own the league. Top tier will, I believe, never attract a viable long-term commercial partner. Shaggy, brilliantly summed up. That is that is the reality of the current state of things. Yes, sadly, but you're spot on. Spots on. Sir, I was saying, are you origin from my no? If I'm Bengali origin through and through. Both Imam and Apis, you should let speak of the club. Akash, but they are right. On one side you've got Nitya speaking, on the other side you have Devashish and Tumpai speaking. Again, how much are they involved in the real running of the club? That should be asked, right? And the fans in Kolkata don't care, right? They believe what these officials say, right? So, yeah. Seren News Rahul Bose resigned after some people put allegations of him scamming fake domicile in Himachal Pradesh. I've not read. Let me just check if there has been anything on that. Okay. There's been some reports, yeah, seems to be, but again, he's already president of rugby, right? So I don't, oh no, he is the president of Rugby India, right? Sorry, let me check. One second. What did I? Indian Rugby Football Union. Let me see. What is Rugby India is different? Just let me check. They've got a website, they've got a governance part of it as well. Let me check their board. Oh, Rabos is still being shown as president. So don't know where you read it, but as far as I can see, again, that's why I'm very careful with these kind of informations, right? Fan code is a new telecast of Indian leagues? No, no. How is fan code a broadcaster or a telecaster or OTT platform? No, Rakesh. They showed some interest. Yes, they did. But again, it was linked to a commercial partner coming in. So that's it. I sometimes feel bad for Imami. They pump so much money only for these men managing to guy ruining things. Uh, Aditya, I think they themselves have ruined it. If they had taken also some right decisions, I think East Bengal wouldn't be in the state they are in. So therefore, I think it's sometimes very easy to feel bad for Imami, but Imami has taken this route, and they themselves need to recognize, realize what is right. Um, you know what is right or what is wrong. Um, but that's it. Sorry, sir. I get from Chaudhari. It's Chaudhuri. Chaudhuri. It's not A. It's an U at the end. So that's the Bengali version of that surname. X9P. Hi, sir. Along with the info, please start covering international club football talks as well. Just request only if you're interested. Abhinav, if you've got interest, more than welcome to do it. If people have questions, queries on international football, always open to that to speak about international football. So yeah, throw the questions at me. I'm not going to do short videos for now, at least on international football. But yes, um, you know, but let's wait and see what happens in 2026. Or now the AIFF planning with 20-year season planning without money, like starting company without capital, that company is only on paper. Yeah, Kumar, that's what we've been talking about the last nearly hour. Maybe, sir, he resigned for some certain time. Sir, big Instagram page also reported he used to resign for short time, like government official gets suspended for term of corruption charge. Again, 9XP, he's still shown there on the board, and that's to me what counts. Was there any project before that turned out somewhat profitable? No, no. Yeah. Um, there aren't any that I would. No. Again, there might be some pay-to-play models where people have made a little bit of money here and there, but otherwise, I wouldn't know any models where you could have made money in Indian football. Not a problem. All good. I see certain East Bengal fans and Messiah fans are supporting AFF run the ISL because they think Constitution is right. Kaun bolega that Constitution violates the FIFA and AFC rules? No one. Because this gentleman led us to the ban last time around. Huh? So who's going to teach him? Who's going to tell him? Again, there are people around AFF and Indian football who've harmed Indian football, but who's going to tell these people that these people have harmed us rather than helped us? Realities. But kaun bolega na? As you say, this is Gina and I. That's the problem of Indian football today. Uh, so you know, it is the way it is, and it's very 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 disturbing to say the least that we are in the situation we are in, and we're unable to get out of this because yeah, we need solutions for the long term and not for tomorrow or day after. And now the counter from master clubs to F in today's meeting. Kumar, what counter? That the clubs are saying, oh, you know what? Let's talk about this proposal to me. Is already laughable because this proposal never ever should have been discussed because it makes no sense. A league under the AFF with a so-called commercial partner, which doesn't exist. The commercial partner does not exist at this moment in time as you and I we speak. Right? How are we going to get there? How are we going to get there and get that commercial partner? Right? You know? So to me, this model, the way it's been presented, doesn't work. Because then otherwise, let's say we've got 14 teams. Each club will have to put in 5 crores to run the league. Most of them can afford losing another 5 crores. But yesterday, we had a long discussion on yesterday's live about how to reduce costs. how to um, stabilize things. And the biggest cost factor is the players. So can you renegotiate contracts? I mean, let's say, players like Mehtab Singh who've just signed a long-term contract. Abhishek Ketcham was also mentioned a little earlier. Why would I renegotiate my contract? If you or I or we had such contracts, we would also say, pay me off, right? So this is the problem. And who's going to organize the league? I Looking at the clubs, looking at the AIFF, looking at the whole thing, I need a whole organizing league body structure to run this whole thing. If I want to get in good quality talent, I'm not going to get them for a few thousand rupees. I had some news cricket mafia stopping in the football leagues. Rakesh, I don't know. I wouldn't know about that. Sorry. Why do you think BSL has poor stadium attendance, kickoff timings alone, or some more reasons? Because Cape attracts a good amount of people in districts. Ochud, I've not really looked into the BSL and why. Again, because it never, for someone who's worked on a Bengal league in 2013, on creating a Bengal league at the time, and looking at the difficulties, especially in central and northern Bengal, how to attract fans and how to get them going and all that stuff. Um, I don't know if there's a lot of PR, a lot of social media blitz, but did you really go into those places and push it? Because I felt it was in and around Kolkata, you're pushing it because you've got access to the people. Now you have to send them out. A lot of people are not willing to travel 6, 8, 10 hours and go to other parts of Bengal. If Tata IPL, why not Tata ISL football? Narendra, Tatas are a stakeholder in the league by being the owners of Jamshedpur FC. So I don't see them doing it. I did before a proposal, AIFF should be first prioritizing getting commercial partner on board. I think there is no commercial partner. Your point makes sense, and I agree with it. But if I look at the tender process of the AIFF, which failed, no one came forward, right? So, um, so therefore, we are in a very difficult situation, and let's see if um, if something can be done. But to find a commercial partner, you know, I certainly hope there is no season. We need a hard reset on everything from within AIFF to clubs and player salary. Rushabh, I agree with you. That's my position now as well. I think going into the last few days of the year 2025, I think the hardest reset we can get is most probably the best we can do, because otherwise things will not move. And even if it needs be, let FIFA, AFC step in, put a normalization committee in, um, and then let's see what happens. Right? Because yeah, it is tough. It is tough. Please organize get together of our Indian football team fans with vloggers in Arunava Stadium in Delhi soon. And Narendra, yes, nice idea, good one, but it's not for me to organize. You've asked me this in the past, but you've got the fan ball meet, which has happened in Delhi, which has happened in Mumbai as well recently. My good friend Akshata behind it, amongst others. Maybe let's see. So tomorrow meeting get cancelled. Is it true? Yes, sir. Yes, it is true. That after today, there is no need for tomorrow's meeting. They will in the smaller working groups try and discuss. And I think the clubs have now asked is what's the AFC position on Asian continental spots. In what position we need a politician and proper administrator and ex-players? Rushabh, you need a politician as a president, I would say. Maybe even in some of the other exco positions, maybe. And the administration, the general secretary, if the CEO position is created, those positions are those that where I feel, uh, um, you know, um, where you need players. I don't even know where the need of ex players are. If they've got a certain level of education, other things, then yeah, let's see. Watching AIFF from the past 3 years, they never set up a marketing to look at commercial ventures with partners. Normally, you do a tender only after you have a guaranteed partner in government. Shaggy, they actually did, right? Prichijit, who is now at Intakashi or one of the key people behind Intakashi, Prichijit was working in 2023 for a certain period of time as the commercial director at AFF. And he is the one who brought in Indigo. So to say that nothing happened or nothing happened or nothing was done would be wrong. Something did happen. But, and but did it happen the way that we thought what should happen? No, it didn't. Will Messi goat India visit have positive impact on our info basket that might come next year? Hopefully, they can become brand ambassador. I don't know if when Cristiano Ronaldo is coming to India. No, the Messi tour has been a disaster from all fronts, so it will have no impact. It would have had no impact on Indian football anyway, right? And now it's had rather a negative impact on our global standings. BSL is ISL of Cape football. Raj, I don't even know. I don't even, you know, what is the BSL? I don't even know. There are players whose first touch is poor, yet they earn 2-3 crores. We need reset on your football salary structure. Aman, yes, but who's going to do it? I'm telling you, if I'm a club and I've got my players on contract, and I could go to you and I say, okay, can we change the salaries? You don't have to agree to this. You could say, I'm keeping my salary, right? So it is not, So yeah, anything from club side on that Delulu project. I think they want to know what is the commercials in it, and they want to know money, sustainability and AFC slots. Arun Jaitley Stadium was house full for Argentina for voting capital. Yeah, but again, Narendra didn't help anything, no? Yesterday, we need politicians who's powerful and bring government money into federation's president. I don't even know if it's government money, but get money into it. X9P, it's not government money. To me, any kind of money is fine. Clubs, fans should first ask you to get a commercial partner and then to go finalize the league. If ever wants to own the league, finding a commercial partner is on their head. Yeah, Shaggy. More than fans, it's on the clubs to ask that question. Because if there is no commercial partner, the buck stops with the clubs. You know, uh, you know. So I don't know. So I don't know. Honestly, for the fan is the collateral in all of this. No, the fan is the one the big loser in this whole equation and this whole situation that currently is Indian football. Indian fans abusing Prabhupada today, they will think at least Prabhupada better than this regime. Yeah, but again, I've said this multiple times. I honestly say this, um, I said it even 2022. You will get what you wish for. And Indian football fans got what they wished for in 2022. Welcome, Kalyan Chaubey. So next meeting maybe in Jan. No, it's 9 p. I think they will have online meetings over the next few days. Again, both sides seem to be under pressure to try and find a solution. Again, some of the clubs, as I've said multiple times, are under pressure that they have to find a solution for their owners so that the owners are happy and say, okay, let's continue with this. So therefore, for me, I don't know. So BCCI can help Indian Super League. It should be 2 month format. Like, no, why get boring? Narendra, sorry, makes no sense. No word about I League 2 or I League 3 absolute shambles. No, PC Game Attack because the AFF is not in a position to solve these problems. I League 3, forget that. I League 3 happening, even the clubs don't want to play now. I League 2 is in a similar situation. So let's get out of it. Yes, any kind of money, private, big company, just like Reliance. It doesn't even have to be Reliance, but it needs big money, right? And we don't have big money at the moment coming towards Indian football. So that's the reality of our things at this situation as we stand. Right, 1 hour 11 minutes. Quick reminder, guys, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. 3,607 at the moment is the number of subscribers. Thank you very much. 15 likes on this video, shared with others. And if you're watching afterwards, do leave a like behind. And also let me know your opinions, your questions, your queries. I try and answer them in the comments below the video. And do watch my short videos. I did something which I really liked. Why did this happen? The breakup, City Football Group, Mumbai City FC. Um, it's an interesting one. It's a difficult one for those, and so therefore for me it's very very clear, and um, so therefore for me, um, let's see what happens next. But do watch the short videos, which I try to explain things, and thanks as always. So hopefully you can invite Ranjit Bajaj sir along with Celebrity Podcast. It's not happening right there. Then why would we say Indian football when there are mafias who at other sports existence? They're scared of competition. They are the lions who are scared of even mild competition. Sir, consider some day commercial partners get some board and put hell out of money. Is it enough to solve our problems? No. No, Raj. If we get the money tomorrow, someone says, "Hey, listen, here's the money, run the league." That doesn't solve our problems. Our problems are across layers. And how are we? Again, I go back to grassroots, youth, coaching, competitions, scouting. All of that needs to be sorted. Yeah, So yeah, if we don't get those things sorted, again, we need to work at the top, in the middle, at the bottom. We need to work across the pyramid of football. Good evening, Siddharth. Welcome back. Sir, it's just a waste of time of fans. Referee club can shut. Donors or multiple players can play in any 2, 3 tier league in any other country. I don't think they can play in other countries. I think that's what some of the players are realizing. Some rumors about JSW people are spreading completely here and there. I don't know what the rumors is, but let them. BSL is the most fun of all as lack of promotion. They're not even a single banner outside or in the stadium. My friends went there to watch 2 home games. Akash, as I said, I have a feeling it's a Kolkata promotion thing. I might be wrong, but again, yeah. If Kerala Blasters shut down, then it's over for Kerala fans. I think Kerala Blasters will not shut down. Owner may get so much criticism from Kerala people, and maybe they will continue. I don't think X9P that the owner of the Blasters or of any franchise is thinking of what the fans think. Sorry to burst that bubble if you think that is, uh, you know, uh, uh, you know, that So therefore, for me, yeah, it is not an easy solution. But a team like the Blasters, in its current form, looks difficult. Let's see what the owners do. Most of the creators who jumped on the bandwagon said FSDL gave 50 crore to invest in grassroots. How many brain cells you need to comprehend that 50 crores is enough and it's not AIFF job? Rishabh, the first thing is the 50 crores was there to run the AIFF system. And that does not grassroots only. It is youth football, it is national teams, it is state competitions, it is office, blah, whatever. In our areas of in Cape tournament, 30, 40,000 people come. Scheduling the matches in the middle of the day is also brainless activity. Akash, Cape is also promoted in a different way. There is a lot of betting, shedding, and all that stuff happening in the background. So don't compare mainstream football with these kind of competitions, be it Cape or be it Sevens. It's look shame all men's all leagues not happening. Yeah, at the moment it looks like it. Had a discussion with Darren a few days back. We told that we are behind the clubs in this difficult times for CEOs. He's also jaded of going to AIFF again and again without resolution. Such a mess. Yeah, I mean, Darren, all the other guys, um, very difficult. I it is very difficult because you have 14 entities with different interests, with different priorities, trying to come together and trying to figure out what to do with the federation, which is, in my opinion, very difficult given the circumstances, given the realities. Bardhaman Blasters playing at Bolpur, brainless management. Akash, it is also what infrastructure do you have for the league? It is not, again, and this is something which you need to understand. IFA has certain set standards. Again, I would have announced the league, would have worked on my infrastructure for at least a year, got it ready, and then hold the league. They just announced boom, 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 did the league. Doesn't work that way. But Who's going to tell them? Any of our Indian players trying to move abroad? Rushabh, I've not heard anything. I guess Delhi AQI is affecting AIFF clear thinking. Shaggy, it is independent of the AQI that the thinking has a problem in football house of the people in it at the moment. Listener today's meeting has not given a clear output comments. There is nothing. A8455, no solution. Supposing tomorrow was the day, hey, we have a solution, we're starting this league. That's not happening tomorrow. Who cares about fans? Come on, bro. Yeah, that's the thing, Raj. This is something which I say, uh, sadly, not only in Indian context, in a global context. Well, let's see. Right. I League was being run before ISL as well. What's stopping I League? PC Gamertech, I League has been running on the money of the of FSDL since 2010. AFF has been spending money on the I League from FSDL, and before that, the Z Group. So since 2005, so 2007 the I League started. 2005 Z Sports came in. From then on, the NFL and then the I League was being funded from that money that was coming in from the commercial partner. That money's gone. If cricket get competitor, then it's over for cricket. Only 10 country play cricket, and out of 10 country, 5 country already confirmed will win, whereas every sport is so competitive. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. Let's see. If cricket, I don't know about cricket. So if the league happens, would they have to change the name? I don't think so. A8455. At the moment, we're talking still about the ISL. Yes, except no one cares about fans. If Kerala Blasters on decides it's over and shut down first, Odisha C will shut down, then it's Mumbai FC. Mumbai City, I don't even think will shut down. I don't think Bimal will allow that to happen. I think he'll try and keep it alive in some sort of form way, but let's see, let's see. But if it's a hand over rights to FF, yes, they did rise. That's what I'm saying. It is under ISL. Mohammedan Sporting will get shut down. No, I don't think so. Mohammedan in some sort of form way will live. They might not be playing top level football, but Mohammedan Sporting in some sort of form or way will survive this. I think someone needs to have a conversation with them much the same way as JD Vance told Zelensky, you have no cards. Nixon, Zelensky had cards and has cards, and they're talking tonight. So it doesn't have. The AFF is in a much worse situation than Zelensky is, but the AFF doesn't want to be realizing that. The biggest problem is that they don't want to fix the problem. AFF would rather have a league and get it over with without considering the long-term implications. Yes, Thinker, that's the point, and that's what I've said to the clubs. If you want to have a league, but you know, you know. So let's see. Why did he left back then? They didn't leave. The AFF sort of had to boot them out because the Z Group started the ICL in cricket, and because ICL had to shut down, there was a lot of financial troubles, and therefore Reliance, Professor Patel got Reliance in to pay off the Z Group and then took over their contract. FSL handed over rights to AFF ICL name. X9P, as from my understanding, yes. At the moment, forget FSDL, Reliance per se is out of Indian football. People in India watching cricket shows that we are still in colonial mindset, even cricket is declining in UK. Cricket is not declining. Cricket was never big in the UK, Aditya. What about Odisha FC? There's no word about them at all at the moment. They are a club on paper. Good thing that we didn't participate in that Super Cup thing. Yeah, might be, might not. There's only Bengali. Yes, only Bengali survivor playing Cape CFL. Cape is not for the clubs, right? This is some jumbled up teams, right? They will play CFL and they might play IFA Shield, and if Durand is around, Durand, whatever. But yeah. Since the proposed ISF formats failed, the AFC 24 match minimum has therefore received a formal assurance that India would lose the Champions League 2 slots. Or are we risking for 26, 27? Arnav, there's been no conversation on that from the AFF with AFC. So are we risking those slots? I would say yeah, but again, you have to talk to AFC, right? Because if the AFF talk to AFC, AFC will ask questions. What are you doing? What are you running? How you're running your league? So you are already on 0.4 or 0.5. That's why I found it funny that the clubs also asked about that. Listen, work out the financials first. What's the way out of this? Like, if I say clubs accept this proposal, where is the commercial partner of clarity? And that would FSDL come back. FSDL is out of the picture. Don't look at FSDL. A8455 at the moment, the clubs would have to be the commercial partner themselves. That would be the only solution I see. Name will be ISL only, no change in name. Yeah, that is what I think. Why is AFF obsessed with owning the league considering Profil was never like that? Like Profil, even without the AFF post, is 10 times more powerful than Kalyan, but he never had this ego or arrogance. Aditya, I don't know, like he was no saint, but he still left that post. Aditya, there are two things to this. Uh, you know, um, to me, um, I don't know if the AFF is obsessed with owning the league. I think the AFF are obsessed of not upsetting the Supreme Court. That's my reading, understanding of the current situation, I would say. So that's the challenge that the AFF has, that they don't want to upset the honorable court, and therefore they are willing to do certain things or not do certain things, and therefore we are in this sort of mess we find ourselves in. And I think that's the bigger problem. I don't think it's an ego thing. It's, I think, the Supreme Court telling them, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And even the Supreme Court, I think, is fed up with them. Melbourne had 94,000 attendance in latest Australia was England test match, and those are non-Indians attending. What should, yeah, but this doesn't mean that cricket is big. Cricket in Australia is a holiday sport and it's not taking serious Australia. Okay, let's forget slots. We need our league to be sorted. We need ISL to be run properly and AFF to be funded enough. We're playing Challenge League next season, most likely. Yeah. I mean, Rishabh, you sum it up. So therefore, um, our problem is the league. Our problems are not slots. Our problems are commercials. So, and the league will not happen if the commercials aren't worked out. I think that's the thing that I am worried about. If I look at things at the moment, and like, where are the numbers for us to realistically run the ISL? Right? Who's going to give us the money to run the ISL? Okay, then it's stuck with the clubs because the AFF also doesn't have the money. My question to the AFF is, okay, listen, if you're willing to spend 7 crores on the ISL, where the ISL was earning you 50 crores, how are you going to run the rest of the system? Or you're shutting down the rest of the system and say, okay, listen, we just run ISL, that's more than enough. Did they ever just want FSDL out? Why did they sabotage the league? PC Game Attack, I don't know if they wanted them out or not, or they wanted them to stay on their own terms. They've messed up the process. What they wanted, I don't even know if they know themselves. Holiday sports is not equal to actual sport, rather one time. Even, yeah, okay. Frankly, sir, is there any chance a season would happen for at least 3-4 months? Apex 5-4, 5-5, 3-4 months is 3 months, yeah, something. But I don't see the league happening at the moment, to be very honest. I think ISL club can perform good in Challenge League, right? No, I don't. Aditya, we've got nothing. Forget thinking we can perform well in Asia. Have you seen our teams play recently in Asian level? No, forget it. How did Supreme Court came with this idea of owned and operated by AFF? Someone has told him that. Listen to the recordings of the Supreme Court hearings. People have said that and nobody's challenged it. Shaggy says, here in Bangalore, we don't think the league will happen this year. AFF are the owners, but have no idea how to bring in money. That they should be clear to even Supreme Court about this, but it will be ego issue. Yeah, Shaggy, I've said this 2 months ago. I don't see the league happening. I've always said it's a 1% chance. I said this in mid-October, post Pujo, Durga Puja. I said there's a 1% chance of a league happening. And we're still at the same position at the end of December 2025. And as I said, if you want a hard reset, my suggestion to the clubs would be, guys, stick to your guns, stick to your proposal. But you've given up that position and said, okay, TK, let's discuss this, what the AFF is putting to us. Because the 14 clubs are not speaking with one voice. Again, East Bengal has its own thinking. Shaggy, you will know better than me. Most probably, there's been some rumors about BFC having their own positions. Mohun Bagan have seemed to have their own positions. Jamshedpur FC seem to have their own positions. Some teams have certain commitments. I don't know what the teams want, right? Who gave court the idea rather misled this idea, and people are spreading rumors that ISL collapsed by itself instead of knowing anything what is happening inwardly, like a little research. Aditya, it is all in the public domain. There's no need of a research on this topic. All of this is known to people in the background. At this situation, ACL is the last thing we should be thinking about. I think clubs are getting their priorities wrong. Yeah, I think I'm very right. Very well said. Our priorities should be, can we keep the league alive? Nothing else, right? Our conversations shouldn't be about, oh, you know what? Are we capable of doing this? Are we capable of doing that? No. At the moment, it looks like the ISL will not happen. Period. That is, to me, the summary of our current scenario, our status. If the ISL happens, we're very, very lucky. So that's the point. Still, right questions are not being asked to the AIFF. Right people weren't present, and most importantly, right things weren't challenged against the world. Yeah, for sure. The Supreme Court should have interacted with one or more football governance people who are coming up. I had a discussion with a lawyer who has been in the Supreme Court around this case when I was in Delhi. And I simply said to him, it is not a matter of law, it's a matter of governance. This is what the Indian ecosystem has not understood, you know? So, you know, so that's the problem. Even if people know why say that ISO collapse by itself, it's so frustrating. Because Aditya, there are people with agendas. If you know better and you want to answer, please answer it then on Reddit and say, listen, this is not true. Why did the clubs suddenly deviate to the AFC in today's meeting? Achut, maybe they don't want to sign the contract. And this is a way of keeping this thing going until the new year. So it's very difficult to say. Very difficult for me to say why we are where we are. And I think nobody has an answer to it. That's the biggest crazy problem. Without the commercial partner, their ecosystem is done. This is shocking that our ecosystem football is about to collapse. Yeah. Yeah. That is, you sum it up. We are in a very tricky, very dicey scenario. If the right things don't happen, then this system could implode. And yeah. Sir, is it state league will succeed Arunachal, Nagaland, Kerala, etc.? Which state league is succeeding? I've never seen a successful state league. They might look nice, flashy. Again, Arunachal, Nagaland are non-starters because they're too small. Mizoram Premier League, yeah, successful in its own right, but does it have a national effect in that way? No, it doesn't. But for Mizoram, it's good. So then our natural league hopefully is good for Arunachal Pradesh. Naga League is good. Kerala, the Super League Kerala is a different thing. That's not even a league. You've got the Kerala Premier League, right? Discussing with this calculation, we can go to the third round to discussing law, court, and economics. We've really come a long way. Aditya, even talking about the third round now looks, yeah, we were in some la la land. What legal protections do clubs have if future AFF administration attempt to unilaterally amend revenue shares or league rules within this 20-year window? None. We're in India, Arnav. If it is owned by the AFF can change it whenever they want to. Why can't public people cannot run their city club in India? Then it will run. Amit, you can run a club. Of course, you can run a club. But who's going to fund it? Sports in today's world needs money. You, I, we, nice. But if someone is not funding your club is going nowhere, right? So that's the reality. Thanks, Arunava. Thanks, Shaggy. I think as a fan, I would only regret not asking the questions when you raised the issue of FSDL backing out. FSDL is out. We're left with tattered clothes. Shaggy, I remember we were talking in 2023 about these things, and people were saying, oh, you know what? Things are good. Why are you being so critical? Why are you being so negative? Because to me, it was evident. Talking to Reliance at the time is, um, and thinking, you know, to me, it is crazy. If I look at July 2023, sitting in Bangalore, watching those two matches, thinking, okay, but I saw the way we played. I saw the ego problems also with a lot of people within the ISL, within the clubs. Nobody realized the warning signs. Yeah. Can't believe last year I was attending Mumbai City FC games regularly, enjoying what was most probably last season of ISL in the stadium. Didn't realize what to get worse. Rushabh, I fully agree, and I'm very happy that um, in Jan Feb when I was in India in Delhi, I got to see Punjab FC play against Jamshedpur. I got to see um, Mumbai City versus East Bengal. Got to see Inter Kashi Gokulam in the I League, and then Mohun Bagan Punjab FC. So I watched four matches in 7 8 days. Yeah, right. I was in India this time around, and yeah, there was nothing of a football game around. So very very sad. So what's your stand? Do you prefer a club owned or run run league, or a league run by capable football federation? Apex, it depends on case to case. There is no generalization of this topic, to be very honest. In some countries I would say it makes sense. Normally I would actually say that an independent body running the league is the best. you know um to me, ideally it should be a separate body which is co-owned by the clubs and the federation which should be running it. Yes, a club may don't want to sign contract, but it's good. First, AFC should explain if they will give spots. I think you should. AFC may ask AFF questions. Yeah, they will ask AFF questions, but the question is, what does this lead to? It's so sad to see some professional players tend to content creation on social media. They would have been playing now under normal circumstances. Yeah, which is a sad reality. 2022 and 23, even with COVID repercussions going away, it was really good. Felt like info was growing and only growing. Yeah, Aditya, as I said, I don't think so. Rushabh says, Namit, even at the bottom tier of Mumbai Football League, you need funding. As Dada said rightly, fan-funded club can't survive in this day and age, especially in our effed up football system. Yeah. Last year when I attended Odisha FC games, except the Goa FC match, everything felt like things were slowing, growing, with things going outside Bhubaneswar, people coming to Bhubaneswar just to watch. Aditya, didn't you things would go like this? It is sad, you know, and I don't know. It is very brutal. Last match I've been at stadium is it was Mohun Bagan Super Giant November 2023. I traveled to Phoenix from home just about one Super Giant. Akash, yeah, that's fandom. That is fandom to me. That you're willing to do that for your club, which is great. Um, but yeah, where do we stand? So who is Interkashi owner? Is he also multi-billion? I don't think it will bring forward revolution, but at least some people may proud that they have at least one proper club. Let's see in future. It is sad. It's not. I don't. They're rich. Let's put it this way: the owners behind Interkashi have money, but are they billionaires? I would not know. Is AFF bankrupt that they are incapable of running I League? I mean, how does AFF get money? PC Gamer Tag. Are they bankrupt? No, they're not bankrupt, but they're moving towards bankruptcy. Let's put it this way. And if the AFF don't sort their stuff, yeah, they could head towards that. At the moment, the AFF are they have money to run till the end of the season, I would say. But if they want to do this ISL model as they've suggested, and they have to put in money, I don't know, you know. And AFF was getting money from FSDL until last season, or until December actually. They get grants, minimum grants nowadays from the government. They get set money from FIFA, from AFC, and generate some money on their own. I hate to say it, but ISL never has been a profitable venture in its 11 years. It saw its peak period in the first 3 4 seasons. FSL did as much as they could, but AFF spoiled it. Yeah, epics, but again, so therefore for me, yeah, FSL also did their mistakes, but yeah, we're too far now, that discussion point. Gute Nacht, good night, Rushabh. Dada, don't have anything to add to the discussion. It's just unreal. Yeah, Rushabh, it is, it is. Um, Yeah, it's sad, right? I mean, I would have loved to have watched a game of football with you together in the stadium one day, but it looks tough at the moment, maybe. It is sad, yes. 9XP, it's very sad. Now the situation, the club should be run by from the people, for the people, by the people who work for all the city clubs. No, it won't. I mean, it's a nice, but it's a naive thought. Who's going to put in the money? Are you going to put in crores to run a football team? Can you put in crores to run a football team? Even if I listen, if it's a people's club, I would be a member. As I said today, I wouldn't put in money. I'll put in time, money, and time and effort, but I wouldn't put in money, right? Hard-earned money. No, it doesn't make sense. My wife asks me all the time why I do care about Indian footy when I don't even live in India. It's really, really sad that fans are always suffering. Akash, listen, welcome to the club. That people are asking why you support Indian football. It's been the case. It was the case. It is the case, and it will be the case for the rest of my life. But yeah, yeah, and 9XP says the same thing. It's very sad. Sir, it's sad. I wanted to see Intercash in Asia, but let's see, as from UP seeing a state club playing in top tier league. XIP, let's wait and see. Let's see. I hope that Interkashi will not totally disappear, that they will stay and then some solution is found and then something happens. But at this moment in time, I honestly can't tell you what will happen. Yeah, it is crazy. So we are where we are. Might sound harsh, but FIFA should ban India for extending Kalyan Chowdhury tenure by government and also creating chaos on operating the ISL despite they have no money. G9I, one thing first. The second point is not a reason for a country to be banned by FIFA. If you have problems with your league, that is, then someone needs to go to FIFA and complain about it. Nobody's done that. So therefore, there is no reason. About government extending, no, government is not extended. Kalyan Chaube's tenure runs out in September. Everyone who's reported about that is wrong because the government says that till December next year, every national sports federation should have an election. So it can be interpreted in that way. So therefore, for me, there are no reasons. Good night. The only thing I learned from you these 3 years is keep the vigil. People running the football system are unprofessional here. Shaggy, sadly it is, and I will always keep on raising the voice on asking the right questions. And therefore, yeah, that's why I repeat myself. I need your support. I need your help to grow this community. That more people join us. That we jointly can push for the things to go in the right directions. So therefore, yeah, that's why, in your circles at least, pass it on. Again, I try, as you know, with you and with people like Roshan, to try and push women's football as an agenda. Very difficult as well. So news that current AIFF president would continue until 2027, and chance that one could move on no confidence vote against him. Apex, yes, but they won't do it. And he will not stay till 2027 if I understand the what the ministry has said. If Interkashi shut down, it's over for UP. At least one proper club comes forward to represent state with state. People not care about football, except some people like me maybe could not let Kashi shut. Yeah. X9P, I would think so as well. But again, it's not you, it's not me. It's about the people running Interkashi to decide, does it make sense for them or not. Hi. I think the consortium is the best model because the clubs are the biggest stakeholders here, and regardless of AFF and FSL, the clubs can choose what's best for them. No, they can't. Because you know what the problem is with the clubs is what I've realized in the last few weeks is that you've got too many different interests and they're unwilling to come under one umbrella. Either the clubs create that consortium, but they have to have that strong leader in that consortium who says, guys, we have to be all together and work towards one aim, right? Which is the biggest task. In my opinion, that's the biggest task with the clubs is that will they speak with one voice? Will they be willing to do what is needed to push in the right direction? And that is, I find, very difficult. Very, 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 very difficult. So the consortium idea, yes, is there. It's out there in the room. Is it the solution? I do not know if it is. Right. So therefore, these are realities of things, and it's very difficult. Very difficult. And again, tomorrow is another day. We'll speak surely again tomorrow about things, and I don't know how we're going to move forward on this, but it's very difficult given the realities of Indian football at this moment in time. And yeah, and it is. Which model do you think the ISL should adopt? The I think the FSDL proposed model is the best, where the clubs hold majority stake. You have a commercial partner who holds a stake so that they have an interest to grow the property. And the AIFF also is included. That I think is given the circumstances, because that's the model which is there in some sort of form way in most leagues. That's, I think, the one. Or now this current cabal of AIFF and Kalyan Chaudhuri who created the situation should go ASAP. New election is only hope. Yeah, let's see. I think that certain people from the what you call the cabal will also stay if Kalyan goes. Sir, I will not attend your live from Jan. I like to watch your daily live. I got some exam in Jan, February. Good night, sir. X9P, all the best for your exams. Whenever you can, do join us. Or if you can't, listen to this afterwards. At least keep yourself informed. We don't want to lose people who are interested. That's the thing. I thought at least ISL clubs had unity amongst them, but kudos to East Bengal for proving it wrong. It's not only East Bengal. There are two, three, four, five clubs who potentially would break lines with the other clubs because they think it's the right thing for them. And that's the problem. Either you stick together as one group or you don't. That's why the clubs, whenever they've tried to do a rebellion against the AIFF, have failed. 2002, they failed against, Mr. Das Munshi. And in 2012, they failed against Prof. Patel. Hope ISL clubs too learn lesson from this mess. They are not innocent, especially the club employees, especially CEO, sporting director, technical director who took backdoor cut money for particular players. G9, yeah, again, whoever has done it, done it. Again, if you can prove it, prove it. But that's also easy to say. But yeah, what to say, what to add. Right. With this, I'll slowly come to an end of this live. Once more reminder, like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com, and 21 likes so far. Do leave a like even if you're watching it afterwards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, 3,607. Thanks. We crossed the 3,600 mark yesterday. Again, as I said, my aim was 4,000 by the end of the month. Again, we're going to miss it most probably close to 400. But again, we're slowly growing. And yes, if things continue the way they are going, I will most probably be doing Indian football content, but also international football content from Jan onwards. So let's see what it is. And I will continue to support Indian football in every way I can today and in future. Yes, sir, I will continue to watch your short videos. I will come back. Surely, again, and also watch the lives. I mean, if you're not watching the lives, but listen to the lives at least, I think there's a lot of infos. Um, why is they holding central every year? Why can't they hold it every 4 years? Like if you World Cup and market it like a tournament, which would also attract fans and some engagement, because it's the state association wants it, and the state associations make up the AIFF. So you need to hold it once a year. Every 4 years makes no sense. East Bengal fans are the worst fans. They're justifying everyone in league. Yes, Kumar, that is sadly true. So with that, I end. I'll be back tomorrow. All the best, and like, share, and subscribe. So keep supporting Indian football. 5K soon. Yeah, that's the work. That's the aim. 1XP to grow the community. And again, the more people who support me, the more influence I have on these things. Thanks once again for those guys who support me. Spread it out, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.